Hi everyone, delonewolf here and welcome back to sisi, the test server for EVE Online, and in today's video we are going to do a request. In the previous video, Machina versus Orca, a lot of people asked me to do the ice mining in the Orca, so I'm going to do that. I grabbed an ice harvesting drone. And I put in all of the skills. But before we actually go there, I am going to have to rectify something from the previous video for the Orca, because I basically forgot about the skills that will improve the mining on the Orca. And the major one, if I go to Spaceship Command, was let me see, Industrial Command Chip, I think. Yeah, Industrial Command Chip. So I basically boosted that up to level 5. Which also gives you a boost to harvesting, which means that if I press show info on the miners mining drone 2s now, we get to 270 cubic meters per minute. So let's do 270 times 3. That's wrong. It's times 5. God damn it. Get rid of everything. Yeah, math, it's not always my strongest suit, so times 5 is 1350 cubic meters per minute just with the mining drone 2s. So I also bought a set of augmented mining drones, which is right here. Can I only... Let's take a look at show info here, attributes. These are also 5. Okay, didn't I grab 5 of those? Maybe they're still all clumped up together. But there is something special about these drones, namely that in the requirements they have mining drone specialization, which increases the, if I take a look at the skill itself, which is in drones. So they require an extra skill, which is mining drone specialization right here. Advanced proficiency at controlling mining drones, 2% bonus to the mining yield and velocity of drones requiring mining drone specialization per level of it. Now, the mining drone 2s at first don't require the specialization, but I think that a few months in CCP is planning to change that. So it's gonna boost the mining drone 2s, but this should also boost the augmented mining drones up to the potential maximum yield of the Orca. So let's inject all those skills. Can't I just... let's see. I thought I brought the skill book with me. Here we go. Inject skill. And now I can apply some skill points to that. First level is 1250. There we go. Apply skill points. 5822. Apply skill points. It's pretty good to have some free skill points from all the mass tests. Unfortunately, I can't join the one for this week. 186 to 75. Okay. And I'm mining drone specialization. Apply skill point. 1,725 applied. And there we go. We are now at 5. And so let's divide this back to 270 for the mining drone 2s, bring us at 1350. Let's see what augmented mining drones gives as information. Attributes all the way down. 333.05. Divided times 5 is 1665 cubic meters a minute is going to be the potential max yield for an Orca with augmented mining drones, with full rigs, with everything boosted as much as possible, and with full skills. That is definitely not bad, even compared to a max yield Machina or something like that. It brings the Orca very close to what a solo miner at the moment can do solo in a mining barge or something like that. Of course, it's not going to beat the Hulk, it's not going to beat the Coveter, especially if those get boosted in a fleet, but considering the size of the ore hold, of course, it's a major difference. So I hope that this rectifies most of the mistakes that I made in the previous video, and it definitely shows that the Orca potential is even higher than what I thought. Next step, let's get into the ice belt and let's take a look at the ice harvesting drone. Now, this one is a little bit different, because it is, let's take a look at the bandwidth needed, 50 megabit per second. So this is like a heavy drone, and the Orca can only field one of them. Of course, when it comes to ice mining in, let's say, a machina or something like that, you also only have 2 hardpoints, and so you can only mine 2 ice blocks at a time as well. So that, I think, is the reason why they went with such an a heavy drone for the ice harvesting drone. I did go all out on the skills normally, and I am now at 51 seconds for mining one of these blocks. So that sounds pretty damn good to me. 1 block every... let's just jettison these. So we start... Oh, I can only do that when I'm out of warp. Here we go. Jettison. Yes. There we go. Now, I think this guy will be the closest. Yeah, at 6,000 meters. So let's get the augmented ice harvesting drone to fly out of here. Still looks the same. And here then we press drones in space. Mine repeatedly. There we go. And can I just grab it? Take a look at it. So it looks pretty much the same. It's got a little bit of a different skin. That's unfortunate, right? I would have preferred it if it would actually be at least a bigger drone, since it is a heavy drone. But there it goes. It's actively mining the ice belt. Looks pretty good. And as I've said, with my current skills, again, I didn't check all of the possible skills for ice mining and ice mining drones, but in the Orca it should basically just be ice harvesting drone operation and ice harvesting drone specialization. And god damn it, return to drone bay. We have to have some visit, of course, and we can also approach this. And another thing that I'm noticing here now is that the large name is a little bit annoying, because you basically need to make your drone window a little bit bigger just to be able to see its status in space. But get back, you. No, return to drone bay. But there you go. One blue ice, a piece of blue ice, which is 1,000 cubic meters. You can see that in the cargo right here. Has just been mined. He made it back. Let's grab the hammerheads. Let's blow this Serpentis Watchman out of the sky. Blap. There we go. Return to drone bay. Of course, one thing that is going to be completely different is that you always will want to be close to the object that you're mining. As close as possible, because the travel time is what's going to cut a little bit of efficiency from the theoretical maximum that your drones can mine. So if you do mine repeatedly here again, get back to work. And especially on something like these chunks of ice, as you can see, the orbit that these drones, can I see it like that? No. So unfortunately you don't see the drone orbit, but you can see here that the orbit of the drone is pretty wide, and now it goes to 5 kilometers, 6 kilometers from me. Even more, there we go, 6.5 kilometers. And then it goes back. But even me just parking myself right on top of this ice belt, I could approach it a little bit more still. Will still mean a little bit of travel time if it finishes, the drone finishes the ice mining cycle at the maximum distance, which of course cuts a little bit of efficiency. But on the other hand, of course, you now do have ice harvesting drones which seem to be working quite nicely, in fact. But at 50 megabit, you're not going to use these in something like the Machina or any other classical harvesting ships that we use at the moment. So that's not going to work that way. Still, there we go. This is basically how you want to set up your ice harvesting Orca. Go as close as possible to the blue ice. Hopefully I can still get out somewhere. Should be possible. I could just head over here to a keep star. And second one has already been returned. I didn't keep a close eye on it. But yeah, looks like one ice block every 50 seconds. Don't ask me to compare that to what's happening on TQ at the moment. I don't really know because I don't ice mine very often. I used to do that a little bit. But I can, of course, take a look at the base stats of the Ice Harvester 2, for instance, which I think is about as good as you can get on TQ at the moment, and that means duration 200 seconds. Of course you have skills, right? The ships have skills as well. You have skills to ice mining, which can reduce this quite considerably, but the base duration of the best ice mining module, I should say, is 200 seconds, which is quite long. Ice mining laser 2, how long does that last? 330 seconds, then to be reduced by skills from the specialized frigate there. So yeah, it's definitely, I think, not bad. One thing that I could maybe also take a look at is the base yield of the drone. So if we go for drones, mining drones, ice harvesting drone 2, for instance, that should be very doable even without, no, you do need a specialization, right? Attributes, the base duration 300 seconds, and for the augmented ice harvesting drone, the base duration 280 seconds. So does look like it's always going to be more efficient to be mining ice in Mackinaws retrievers, possibly hulks if you have Orca support, but at least, right, the ice mining that your Orca can do is supplemented, and it looks like it's around 1 block every 50 seconds. So that's 1 block worth, let's do 1. I'm not sure if this valuation is right, but it's almost 200,000 ISK every 50 seconds. So probably not great, I would say. I suspect that the actual mining in the Orca of straight up ore will be much closer to what the mining barges can do inside a belt compared to what the Orca is doing here against the same ships in the ice harvesting, just because they have 2 ice harvesters going at the same time, which have an even lower base duration than what these ice harvesting drones have. But still, once every 50 seconds an extra ice block should be pretty nice for ice harvesting operations in New Eden. So yeah, if you actually do ice mining on TQ yourself, feel free to post comments about the performance of this ice harvesting drone. But keep one thing in mind. I guess the most important things are, this is a heavy drone. It takes all the bandwidth from the Orca to just field one of those, and with full skills, as far as I've been able to find here, it's 51 seconds for 1 piece of ice mined. At least it works, right? There you go, guys. That's going to be it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.